You're listening to Systemic Error Podcast. The failure was designed.
MAGA melts down on Trump over Graham replacement. Sometimes I wonder about you, based on an article by Tom Bogany. Nepotism as spectacle, democracy as afterthought. The real power is still Trump's. The source is about a Senate appointment, but the power map is simpler than the pageantry. Trump is the one making the call. Governor Henry McMaster is the one expected to execute it, and the GOP machine is the structure absorbing the fallout. The public outrage in the comments is not evidence of principle. It is evidence that Trump's base has been trained to expect domination, not governance, and now resents him when the domination looks incompetent. What the story actually says. The article centers on Trump's suggestion that Lindsey Graham's sister, Darline, fill Graham's seat as an interim senator. That is the whole event. Everything else is a reflexive MAGA pile-on, complaints about nepotism, rage at GOP leaders, and the usual slurry of deep state paranoia and anti-Muslim scapegoating. The reporting treats this as a strange intra-right squabble. It is really a demonstration of how Republican politics has been reduced to a loyalty contest with occasional ceremonial references to institutions. The blame is being laundered. The commenters' anger is misdirected in the standard authoritarian way. They attack McConnell, Thune, the Swamp, and imaginary conspirators while treating Trump as a disappointed sovereign rather than the architect of the mess. Even the criticism of nepotism is stripped of any democratic content when it is paired with calls to purge opponents, punish religious minorities, and pull the trigger on removing elected officials. That is not reformist outrage. It is mob politics looking for a better manager. The Senate is patronage theater. A Senate seat is supposed to represent political authority, but in this telling it functions like a personal tribute, a favor, a token to be assigned by the powerful. Trump's proposal is absurd precisely because it reveals the logic of the system beneath the slogans, office as loyalty reward, not public trust. The discomfort from some MAGA supporters is not a rejection of that logic. It is a complaint that the boss misread the room and made the exchange too obviously transactional. Misdirection is the product. The source framing is weak because it allows the spectacle of online outrage to crowd out the actual mechanism of power. The issue is not that a few supporters are confused. The issue is that Republican politics has built a culture where grievance can be endlessly redirected away from the people making decisions and toward scapegoats, party leaders, immigrants, Muslims, deep state enemies, or whichever internal target is convenient this week. That is how responsibility disappears while authoritarian habits harden. The pattern beneath the noise. This story is not about one bad appointment idea. It is about a party ecosystem that treats institutions as props, democracy as optional, and public office as a vehicle for personal tribute and factional discipline. The backlash from Trump's own supporters does not show democratic health. It shows how far the movement has traveled into anti-institutional authoritarianism that now eats its own when the performance slips. That is the pattern. Loyalty first, governance never, and scapegoating ready whenever the machinery starts to creak. You've been listening to Systemic Error. Thanks to Raw Story for today's article, with the automated voice of Joe. Thanks for listening.